Oh, they're back. The World Health Organization, you love them, admit it, they're now warning of the potential of another pandemic. And buckle up, it could be 20 times worse than COVID-19.
Anything happening is a matter of when, not if. So we need to have a placeholder for that, for the disease we don't know that may come. And that was when we gave the name Disease X.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk about the World Health Organization and its Director General, who gave a speech last week at a World Government Summit in Dubai about a potentially deadly new pandemic that may or may not be upon us. He talked about a disease they're calling Disease X breaking out, and he's telling global world leaders that it's a matter of when, not if, a new pathogen and pandemic will strike. So I want to pull up the article and I want to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, so here we go. It's February 2024, and we all know there's a presidential election this year in November. And the Director General of the World Health Organization is warning world leaders that the likelihood of Disease X breaking out is a matter of when, not if, a new pathogen and pandemic will strike. Now, we all saw back in 2020 when the COVID hit during an election year, and we know the results of that election. Some believed it, some didn't, but we all just took it with a grain of salt and moved on with our lives. But now, Tedros, who goes by his first name, whatever his first name is, I don't know, told attendees at the World Government Summit in Dubai earlier this week, he gave us some similar warning in 2018 that a pandemic was likely to hit, and he was proven right by the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus. And we all know what that did to us. It shut down the entire United States and most of the world. It prevented people from going out to vote in person. Many people voted online or by mail-in ballot. And again, we know the outcome of that election. He's complaining that the world is still ill-prepared for a new pandemic. A global treaty to be agreed upon by May and dismiss suspicions of being a WHO power grab as outlandish. He called the treaty mission critical for humanity. Now, we all know that Bill Gates, the billionaire Microsoft founder, has told us in the past that pandemics will never go away. We will see one again someday more deadly than the coronavirus. And now the WHO, and I don't know if you're going to connect Bill Gates to Tedros, but you could. Me, I tend not to believe anything Bill Gates says because Bill Gates is nothing but a billionaire trying to change the world to the way he likes it. And that's just my opinion. But Tedros went on to say, I stand before you in the aftermath of COVID-19 with millions of people dead, with social, economic, and political shocks that reverberate on this day. And although some progress has been made, like improvements in surveillance, the pandemic fund, building capacities in vaccine production, the world is not prepared for another pandemic. And as you recall, they had a vaccine ready in less than 8 months, but it normally would take years to come up with a vaccine capable of preventing such a disease as COVID. But they pushed it, and now today we know that push was unnecessary because, quite frankly, it didn't protect you from catching it, and it didn't protect you from spreading it. We all know that. It's documented, and it's all over the internet. But he goes on to say that history teaches us that the next pandemic is a matter of when, not if. It may be caused by an influenza virus or a new, get that word, new coronavirus, or a new pathogen we don't even know about yet what we call Disease X. We've all heard theories that this was a man-made virus originating in Wuhan, China. I don't know if they've ever proven that. Quite frankly, I really don't care at this point. But I'm talking about this briefly because why now, in 2024, is this big blockbuster report coming out that there may be a new pandemic? It's when, not if, it's going to hit. Are we going to see a potential rerun of 2020? The closer we get to the presidential election, all of a sudden the pandemic hits and they shut down the world again, and they shut down the United States. You remember, let's close for 2 weeks, stop the spread, 2 weeks, turned into almost 2 years. Me being the type of person to not believe everything I hear from the federal government, especially because of all we know now that we didn't know in 2020, I'm kind of skeptical. I don't know if this is fact or fiction. I don't know if they are planning something that may, again, put the presidential election at the forefront of who won, who didn't win. Did they really win? We don't know. But we all know that Joe Biden is our president. And remember this photo right here where he was center stage getting the vaccine jab, and he ended up contracting COVID because, again, the vaccine did not prevent you from catching it. So while Disease X is a hypothetical placeholder virus that has not yet been formed, scientists say it could be 20 times deadlier than COVID. It would involve cooperation in research and development, access to vaccines and other products, and sharing of information, technology, and biological samples. And he cited 2 reasons why a consensus has not been reached. The first is nations have some differences, but he was confident that they would work through it together. So this is a game where we sit now and we wait. We wait to see if this is going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. And if it is true, that for some reason Tedros knows that there's another pandemic on the horizon that we don't know about yet, then why is he telling us? He's calling it Disease X. He's telling us it's not when, it's not if, it's when it's going to hit. You should be skeptical too, because the coronavirus came out of nowhere, started affecting people in China. Next thing you know, it's all over the world. And Tedros of the WHO is telling us that it's probably going to happen. And I, for one, wonder why. Why now are they talking about this? Because they know Joe Biden is failing. They know he's behind in every single poll that's conducted. And they know most Democratic leaders do not have confidence in Joe Biden and that he should not be the president of the United States again. So this is a game where we wait. We wait and see what happens. We wait and see where it goes. And we wait and see how many billionaires like Bill Gates get behind this and stop talking about it more and more the closer we get to the 2024 presidential election.